And the microphone works. Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming. I know you're all waiting for that and that demo. So the person you're waiting for is Aishikal. She's going to come on stage just after. We'll be the two of us talking about a topic which is very interesting, which is removing blind spots and the need to simplify IoT. And you'll understand what that means in a second and how mixed reality totally complements IoT, especially when it comes to simplifying how you interact with IoT data. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us online. I think we're pretty present. So after the session, you can come and talk to us. But you can also, after the event, reach out, tell us what you think, tell us we've done a good or a bad job, but also share your ideas and your perspectives on these topics that are simplifying IoT. So that title, hopefully, teased you for kind of what does it mean? Like blind spots, removing blind spots. We don't like blind spots. Like in these kind of conditions like Seattle, rainy weather, a blind spot is not something comfortable, it's something dangerous. So when you're driving, before changing lane, you turn your head, you slow down, turn your head, verifies there's nothing, and while you're doing that, you're taking another risk, which is not looking ahead. You're slowing down, you're not going as fast as you would like to go. And it's the same thing in the IoT space. You have an IoT application, does something. If there's an area of that IoT application, let's say, for example, a manufacturing place, if you have a place or an area that you don't know what's going on there, there's a risk. There's a risk something goes wrong, and there's a risk that actually your business might get in trouble. So back to the car. Now we have this little light on modern cars that indicates there is a vehicle in the blind spot. So you don't need to turn around. You can keep your pace and know that you should not change lane at that moment. And the moment there's no more little light that comes up, you can change lane without changing your focus. Same thing in the IoT space. An IoT solution will bring visibility into areas that you had blind spots before. So it will actually give you information, insights, thanks to algorithm, analytics, machine learning, and others that will help you, not having to care about these blind spots. Does that make sense? So if we look at an IoT application, what are the typical blind spots you could see? In a typical IoT application like these ones, you have many potential blind spots. How are the devices connected, right? This is something that you can have different ways of doing that. The intelligence you're bringing at the edge is running on a device somewhere, right? How do you bring it down there? How does it run? Is it healthy? Is it giving you the right set of information? Connecting, satellite, LoRa, other ways of connecting to the internet. Things are unknown. You need to really have a way to not have these blind spots down there. You need to have a way to ingest the data, knowing which device is which, knowing what kind of messages they're sending. Another blind spot, potentially, device could send, temperature, you think it's humidity, boom, your system doesn't work. Other blind spot, predictive, well, I can go on and on. So, right, the biggest blind spot being security. How do you secure your end-to-end IoT solution? I'm not going to go through everything telling you, exactly how you fill in the blanks and you provide solutions, but think about that. You don't like blind spots. Make sure that you have solutions from partners or that you build yourself that actually remove these blind spots. IoT platforms, IoT solutions will help you focus on your business, removing these blind spots. It's super important. So let's see how you can do that. But before getting in there, I just mentioned that all architecture seems to be a bit complex. And one way of removing big blind spot is to remove complexity. Anyone can tell, I will not read that. It's proper English, but it's a bit long. It's a bit complex for a quote. Do you know who say that? Someone? Raise a hand. No? So let me actually put the translation in proper, simpler English. That's the very well-known quote from Albert Einstein. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. IoT is the same. It should be made simple for the users, for the app builders, for the customers of ours. You need to have a simple set of platforms that come together in order to remove these blind spots and implement a secure application that gives you what you need. Remember that blind spot detector is a very complex system that has radars, that has a visualization. It cannot fail. It cannot. You cannot have the thing not light up when there's a truck behind you. Otherwise, you're dead, right? But the simplicity of the use of that thing is that you don't even need to have a user manual for using it. It's just a little light that you know, your brain tells you, don't change lane. Simplicity is key, right? How do we simplify IoT for various areas? One is the apps builder. Do you want and need to develop your own website? No, you're not a website developer. Do you want to build a full device management solution? Maybe not. You want to focus on implementing remote monitoring on your factory. IoT Central is an example of that simplification. It's a solution platform that allows you very simply with that line of code to create in a matter of minutes an application that will allow you to connect, manage, visualize data from devices, as well as trigger actions in various areas. We have solutions based on templates for various industries. We have simulators that will provide data in these dashboards very rapidly. You have a WYSIWYG interface for moving things around. You can manage different users, different tenants. You can do everything you would develop on your own if you wanted to be in the business of website developments and IoT platform developments, but you don't want to be in that business, right? You want to focus on adding value. There's also a notion of integration devices. How do we allow connecting devices to that world of IoT platforms? And here you're seeing on that very fast video, it's just a by two, right? I've just done that recording earlier today, me creating an IoT application. I think it lasts for 1 minute. So in reality, it was 2 minutes to create a full end-to-end application. And I will tell you how to integrate really rapidly devices in that application. So that integration is a problem. Various devices, various types of devices, various types of data, various formats for these devices to share their information up to the cloud. So here's an idea. We open source something called DTDL, Digital Twin Definition Language, which is a project that aims at offering a platform for device manufacturers to expose the model of their devices. Here is the capabilities of my device. It has these properties, it has this kind of telemetry with this kind of units and so forth. I published that model after creating it. The example here is DTDL based on JSON, JSON LD to be more precise. And the device manufacturers can work with authoring tools on creating that model. He will publish that, but before publishing, he's able to generate code for his device that the device talks in the right language with the right format and sends the data according to that definition language that is just published or that he will publish. Then imagine a catalog of devices that are certified for that technology. We call that plug and play. So you have now device manufacturers publishing their devices in the public catalog that customers who are building IoT applications can go and pick from. I want to have a camera. I want to have this motion sensor. So I'm going to just import that into my application. And when I import these devices to my application, I'm importing that device capability model that has been basically commoditized or not yet standardized, but you get the idea. And so I can build an application now very easily because a temperature is a temperature. And so when I build my UI, my dashboarding, whether the device is coming from one manufacturer to another one, as long as they respect that description language and the format for sending the data, just works. With a little layer on top to integrate with solutions that are existing today. LoRa as a good way of sending data, compressed, optimized for size. How about we bridge that into a different format after decoding the payload so that it's compatible with the broader world of IoT. So integrating devices, that's another area where we can simplify. Now, last but not least for today is the interaction with IoT data, and there's going to be lots of demos here. It's critical that the IoT data and the insights that are extracted from that data are made available to the various operators and users in a way that is best for them. I'll let Aisha actually come on in and talk about how mixed reality is going to help there. Microphone on? No?
Yes? Yes. Great. Hi, everybody. My name is Aisha Gür. This is my very first time here at the Things Network conference. And I'm part of the Azure Cloud Advocacy team, and I focus on spatial computing, which means that I get to play with toys like HoloLens and some VR devices, as well as Kinect. And I talk about it and create lots of demos. First off, I just want to be on the same page with you about mixed reality. All of the companies, they keep throwing these ideas, these new terms, mixed reality, augmented reality, and virtual reality. Just wanted to tell you what we mean by that. On one side, we have the reality of having to go to a meeting, having to sit through for long hours, and that's one part of the range. And on the other end, we have virtual reality, which means that you can absolutely be immersed in a different environment and totally can run away from your own reality. And in between, we have tons of devices with capabilities of augmenting our reality, which means that we can add virtual objects or information or sound into real space and add it with information and knowledge. So why do we even need this? As the blind spots that Olivier talked about, we have a lot of data that we created in the very recent years, and we are not very good at understanding this information through 2D representation of it. If you think about it, writing or any kind of graph is a very 2D representation of a very big information data point. And it is really important to have this information right in the right place and the right time, and it's really hard. It's usually somewhere else, and when you are trying to make a decision, you don't have the right data right in front of you. So this use case is the best for augmented reality because although you are adding some virtual information into your environment, you are not totally disconnected from the outside environment. So you can be in a factory going around and checking the sensor data right in the place and know what to do exactly. So one thing that we use augmented reality very efficiently is for education. There are all these devices that I have no idea about here. And it is really hard for me to get on board and start doing something with IoT. Or if you have a workforce that needs to be trained for long hours for using some machinery, it's really, really expensive to go through that training and then lose those workers after a while. Instead, you have the ability to put the information, put the education in the right place so someone can come into your environment and then start working, be proficient right away. And this is part of the tooling that we have for Dynamic 365. But this technology is available to you other than in the Microsoft ecosystem. So in this case, you can create a tutorial and then somebody can follow the tutorial in 3D space. I actually used this and was able to fix a motorcycle, which would never happen in any other case. And it's a really fun experience. But HoloLens 2 is a very new device, and it's an expensive device. But these technologies that we have to create all of these augmented reality experiences is not limited to headsets. We have in our phones capabilities for AR Core and AR Kit for iOS and Android. And there are millions of phones, millions of users out there who are using these phones, but not really taking advantage of the depth sensing. So this is one of my favorites. This is Google Maps, their augmented reality experience. As you can see, you have the connection with the outside world, but you also have the right information right in front of you. Sometimes you come out of a train station and then it tells you to go one way, but GPS is never very accurate, as you all know. And it's really hard for someone, if you're not very familiar with the environment, to know which way to go. So Google Maps is solving this problem by showing the way to you in the real environment. And it's not also only mobile development. These examples of having a QR code and adding more information to the real space is from 3 years ago, and these are web examples. And if you would like to see the code, you can take a picture of the QR code. On the left side, we have an image, as you can see, that's called a hero image, which has a very distinctive look. So with use of the computer image technology, we are able to determine that's on a surface, and then we are able to add anything related to that. The other one is an AR-capable device. So the hero image or any kind of QR code will work with any kind of device. With the AR-capable devices, we are also able to detect surfaces. So in the other one, there's actually no QR code. It's just an empty paper, and you can put the 3D model on top. All of these new informations, new technologies, and it's really, really overwhelming. So we have some components that are ready made for you that are open source. So you can kind of use them as Lego blocks to build for mixed reality. And they don't only work for our headset. They also work for VR, Oculus, and mobile devices. What we have is different interaction models, different buttons, and different functionality that you can just drag and start using. And it's time for the demo.
This is the moment where just like, Wi-Fi, please work. Is it on? Did you put power?
Yes.
Cool. Hang on tight, guys. We are coming.
One really cool thing about HoloLens is that it has eye tracking and eye scanning. So as soon as I put on the device, it knows who I am, and it can tell it's me, and authenticates me right away. So I don't have to go through anything. And if it was somebody else who was wearing it, who already put the information in, they can start using it right away as well.
So one thing, you see the image is a bit stuttery here. So don't worry, she's not going to get sick, because it's way more stable for her when she's actually seeing what's going on there, right?
As you can see, we also have the hand tracking. That's what's enabling very natural interaction with your environment and with the virtual data. Right now, I'm looking for my application. What?
Let me take care of that. Find it.
Okay. And what you see right now is my environment's being scanned. And this is the wrong demo, sorry. My environment is being scanned, so HoloLens knows where to put.
I'm sure people prefer a real demo than a recording anyways, right? You're good.
Yes. So, can anyone see the Things Network or TTN? I lost it.
Did you lose your demo?
Oh, well, not tips, no. Oh. Have I lost my demo? Okay.
And then we can talk through it. If you, yeah. And you can eventually bring, do you have another model you can bring? That's what you have.
Okay.
Yep, that works.
So this demo is also using Bing Maps. You don't have to, but it has the maps. This is the wrong demo, sorry. This is the VR demo, unfortunately. But what you have here is a real map with the 3D information and the elevation, and you can put all of your information on top of it and see it in the real space and interact with it through hand interaction. Oh, so sorry, I couldn't find the exact demo, but let me just show you for your entertainment at the very least. How the hand interaction works. All right, we have the demo open, and we are able to put all of the information anywhere. So this particular menu is connected to my hand. That means that I can lose the menu anytime and then open it back on. And this is our hummingbird. And it knows where my hand is, and then comes and sits on it, and then goes away. So I will render the map demo for you and put it with the link on the GitHub repo, and you can take a look and use it however you like.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashigul. Thanks to everyone for coming. Happy to answer more questions after. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Olivier and Aysegul. That was really cool to see the demo. Are we able to see it in a booth as well, maybe? We can see it on later on in the afternoon, maybe? Yeah? Cool.
Yeah, we're going to get the map working with IoT data on top of it.
Okay, they are going to get it work in the booth for those of you who would like to explore it more extensively. So once again, thank you, Olivier and Aysegul.